All right, guys, Copper Cutlass. I didn't have a formal intro to this video, so I guess this is it. Enjoy. Wife, press pause. $34.14. Wow, that's actually pretty good.
That's with you in there.
Damn.
Trust me, you're going to want to take a picture of that.
All right, I am in the car and got the scales. Car weighs 34.
You better hold the.
Hold on. Can you pull that board out?
Yeah,
All right, go ahead.
that's gonna be in the video. You better hold the fuck up.
Go ahead. We got one more board. One more. Yeah, we can go a little more, guys. One more.
Dude, 38.56 with me in it. That's actually pretty good for this car. I'm pretty impressed.
I figured it was about 38.
It's 37.
You do realize I took about 200 pounds out of it over the last winter, because I took out like a ton of unneeded weight out of this car.
Right.
Well, he said 38.56, and he says he weighs 2 something.
So the car weighs 36 without me.
36.
That's pretty good.
It's under that 37 mark, fellas.
Did you take a picture and send it to him so
No, I
he?
haven't done anything.
That's pretty good.
We don't want to see me. Okay.
All right, guys. So I'm in the same fucking spot as you guys saw me earlier in the intro. So without further ado, here goes my jibber jabbing. So either way, you guys saw that the Cutlass with me in it. We're gonna call it an average of about 423, 425, 3,425. I should say 323, about there. 34.23. We had to rescale it. We had a mishap where this car's got, because of the high stall, you have to really get up on it, and it pulled the scale out and it ripped the connector. But his wife has a super steady hand, and she soldered the super thin gauge wires. She actually had full, the honor of saying she got to break in my brand new Snap-on soldering iron, which I bought recently. She was the first one to use it. And she resoldered it, and we rescaled the car. And the second time it was about 430, so 34.30, and obviously with me in it. And so I'm gonna call the average about 3,423 to 3,425 about. All right, and what we did see is that we have a bias of about 57 to 42%, meaning the front end is about, I forgot how many percentages that is, but the front end is heavier than the rear. And what that means is that down the road, I need to work on getting some of this extra weight in the front towards the rear. At this point, I'm not looking to lighten up the car. I'm looking to shift weight. So I'm thinking of things that I wanted to do in the past, like Lexan windshield and side glass from Procar. That's a very nice kit, very lightweight, and it's formed to actually fit this car. So it's just not like flat Lexan. And then like maybe a fiberglass bumper. It takes some weight off of the core support. So pretty much essentially, I believe we need to get about 175 pounds to the back. What JJ was telling me, I asked him, of course. And then some of that weight needs to go to the right rear corner. So what that means is that I'm going to be looking to put my battery in the back, a lot of little things, but that's going to be down the road. But now I know where we're going to do it, because down the road we're going to make some changes to where the balance of the car is really, really going to be crucial. I'm going to hint at it. Trans brake. So, that wasn't very subtle. Either way, most impressively, the Bonneville weighs 3850 with me in it, which means that that weight that we took out last year, it actually added up. So I think curb weight on this car is somewhere around 4,000 pounds dry, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. But 3850 with me in it is pretty damn impressive, and I actually think that this combination with, if I put the X-Pipe on it and we get this car ready, maybe a little bit lighter wheels, I think this thing should do 14s all day knowing that, because this engine in this car ran 13.7s in a slightly just about the same configuration. I think the only difference, when this car ran 13.7s, I had the steel deck lid, but I had fiberglass fenders and a pin-on hood. So really, but it still had the steel wheels. So really it was, we're talking about 13.7s, maybe almost about the same weight versus, this, which is 400 pounds. So this car should be able to do like a little 14, a 14.4, 14.3. I think this car sorted out should be able to do it, knowing that information. Now keep in mind, this car ran 13.7s with a turbo 400, which eats up about 20 horsepower. So there's also that. So with knowing that, today I actually drove the car this morning, and it's really cemented and drove the point home for me that this is what I need to focus on next year. I'm going to daily drive this car. I am going to throw in a retrofit heat unit in there, because this is going to be a full-time daily driver as soon as the weather clears up once we get snow. So that means that if it's clear out, I'm going to be driving this car next year. So I'm going to need a heater in there with at minimum windshield defrost, which the little Summit kits cost like $200. They're very affordable. They're small. They're compact. And I got plenty of room after removing all the heavy factory shit out of there. So the only upgrade I'm going to be doing is mainly going to be safety. I'm going to be putting an X-Pipe, and I'm going to be changing the wheels. I want something a little bit lighter. I wanted the Pontiac Rally wheels, but they're heavy. So I'm going to be looking for an affordable aluminum wheel for this car to keep the weight down and keep it looking good, because the COVID edition wheels are fucking ugly. As much as I love the look, I really actually have grown to hate the look as much as I like it. My wife's over there tripping over the cherry picker. Tilting probably the phone the wrong way. You guys have seen the goddamn car. I was over there walking around. So either way, on a different note,
You gotta have to remind them.
so on a different note, the Turbo 400 from Project Enron is back, and at some point I'm going to take that apart and we're going to find out what's wrong with it. I have this Turbo 350 that I have to get done. There's no rush on that, but that's a kind of a pro bono job for a friend. I'm gonna foot the bill on it. He's a photographer, and change all I want is like a good track day with some cool pictures, and just have him pay for the parts. The labor's gonna be free. I also scored. Let me roll out the pimp wagon here. So what we got here is, most importantly, I got a block with the oil fill tube, which I think we wedged it in there just right. Oh man, this is like one of those trick things where you put the nail through there's only one way to get it out, and it's all the way out the back. You guys know the nail and the wood, and whether you soak it. This is the most important part of an Oldsmobile. I'm sorry, guys. It's the most important part. If it doesn't have this, if it doesn't look like a choo-choo in the front, then it ain't shit. So, sorry. Ooh, I even got a fancy, like, Moroso thing. I was not expecting that. Very, very cool. So either way, this is a, I believe 30 over. Let's check out the pistons. So those are a little tight on the rods. So we're going to have to clearance those when we, yeah. So this might be another reason why this motor failed. These pins are really kind of tight. So this motor was built, spun almost every goddamn bearing in it. This is a 30 over 350 Speed Pro pistons. Let's see, does it have a 30 on there? Okay, I'm just going to call it 30. It's got a little too much carbon. 30 over Speed Pros. The rods are junk at this point. Crank is junk, but I got the pistons. I got the block, which has already been, obviously the bores actually look really good. So hopefully all that needs to do is just a little cleanup. I'm going to send the block out to get cleaned, put new cam bearings in it, have these pressed out, and have them properly clearanced. I don't have the equipment for that, but I'll have the shop do that. And I have those, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I think I did in the one video. I have these rods that a friend of mine got, which these have been resized. They got ARP bolts. They look to be pretty fresh. They were just in a box, and he got them out of Mondello's garage, I believe. That's what I've been told. So those are going to be the rods. I'm still on the lookout for a crankshaft. So any guys out there local to the Chicagoland area, if you got a small block 350 crank lying around, I'm looking for one. Doesn't have to be anything special, just something that'll take a polish is pretty much what I'm after. I have to get the rotating assembly balanced. So I'm also looking for a early 70s balancer. Looks like this. It's a little bit wider. Some guys confuse it for the W31 balancers or something like that. But I got the parts, and this is going to be the basis of a backup short block. But that's not going to happen this year. Like I said, this car's going to sit, and depending on how the year goes next year, I'm probably not going to touch this until the fall. Car's going to stay together. I'm not going to pull the motor out. There's nothing gravely wrong with it. There's no reason to take it apart. So either way, guys, I won't bore you any longer. I'll let you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the work we did today. Nothing major, but we got stuff. That's important, right? So share, like, subscribe. Like I said, things are going to be light around here, but, I still got to finish up that stroker build, and I got that Turbo 350. If there's anything specific you guys would like to see out of those two projects, let me know. If not, then I'll just do my usual, show you guys stuff as I go. See you.